They are not gods, they are not kings, and yet they shaped the world. Before the lands of Middle-earth were drawn, before the stars first shone above the forests of Beleriand, there existed beings of power so vast they were part of the very music that brought creation into being. They are the Valar, the powers of Arda. But who are they truly? Are they divine? Are they immortal? Do they rule, or do they serve? They appear only in glimpses in The Lord of the Rings, and yet their presence is everywhere, in the winds that whisper through the trees, in the crash of waves upon the shores, in every seed that breaks the soil. They watched the rise of Morgoth. They mourned the darkening of Valinor. And in the deepest tales of the First Age, they shaped the fate of elves and men alike. There are 14 of them. Some are fierce like flame, others gentle like the moonlight. Some walk unseen among the stars. Others carved the mountains with their own hands. They are more than myth. They are the soul of the world Tolkien created. And yet, many who walk through Middle-earth have never heard their names. They are not worshipped. They do not demand temples. They serve a greater purpose, one known only to Ilúvatar, the One. Some among them love light and order, others feel drawn to depth and solitude, and one fell into darkness, burning with pride. In this video, we descend into the earliest lore of Arda to reveal the true nature of the Valar, their origin, their power, and their purpose in the unfolding story of the world. If you've ever wondered who truly watches over Middle-earth, you're about to find out. To understand the Valar, we must return to the beginning. They were not born, they were not made. They were thought into being, brought forth by Ilúvatar before time began. The Valar are Ainur, those holy ones shaped from the mind of the One. Among all the Ainur, a chosen few chose to enter the world they had sung into vision. These became the Valar. But why? Because they loved the world. They saw its beauty in the music. And they longed not only to imagine it, but to dwell in it, to shape it, to see it flourish. When Ilúvatar said, "Let it be," some Ainur descended into Arda, binding themselves to the world's fate. In doing so, they took on form. Not physical in the mortal sense, but shaped in the likeness of what they governed. They are not bound by flesh, but they walk as though clothed in it. They are eternal, yet within time. Each Valar represents a fundamental aspect of Arda: wind, sea, earth, growth, fire, healing, wisdom, war. Together, they form a cosmic harmony that mirrors the music from which they came. They are not rulers in the human sense. They do not seek worship. Their purpose is guidance, balance, and stewardship. They care for the world not as owners, but as guardians. Some are quiet and solitary, like Nienna, the Lady of Mourning, whose tears heal the broken. Others are bold and active, like Tulkas, who delights in strength and laughter. Some act in pairs, like Manwë and Varda, the Lord of the Air and the Queen of the Stars. Their love is woven into the very winds and constellations. Above them still is Eru Ilúvatar, the one beyond all comprehension. The Valar do not act outside his purpose. Even in disagreement or failure, their actions flow within a greater design. But they are not perfect. They can feel sorrow. They can fear. They can misunderstand. They can disagree, even fall. One of them, the mightiest of all, turned away from the harmony entirely. He will be named soon. For now, know this: the Valar are not gods. They are echoes of the divine, brought into the world to sing, to shape, and to guard its unfolding story. There are 14 Valar who entered Arda, 7 lords, 7 ladies. Each one a fragment of Ilúvatar's mind, bound to a specific aspect of creation. Let us begin with the greatest among them, Manwë, king of the Valar, lord of the air, the wind, and the upper skies. He is closest in spirit to Ilúvatar, calm, just, and wise. He sees far and speaks little. The eagles are his messengers, and the winds carry his voice. He sits atop Taniqatil, the highest mountain in the world, with Varda at his side. From there, he watches the unfolding of the world. Varda Elentari, Queen of the Stars. She is light itself. It was she who kindled the stars that first shone over Middle-earth, and the elves hold her in deepest reverence. Her name in Elvish is Elbereth, and they sing to her in times of darkness. Her beauty is said to be beyond description, and her light drives away shadows that even the Valar fear. Together, Manwë and Varda form the heart of divine leadership in Arda, sky and starlight in perfect union. Then comes Ulmo, Lord of Waters. He dwells not in Valinor, but in the depths of the seas, lakes, and rivers. He is solitary, and his music never ceases. Ulmo is both fearsome and kind, and he alone never abandoned Middle-earth, even when others turned away. His presence can be felt in the crashing of waves and the silence of deep waters. Auli the smith, master of craft and substance. It was he who shaped the mountains and formed the foundations of the world. He loves order and beauty, but also struggled with impatience. It was Aule who created the dwarves, an act he repented, but which Ilúvatar accepted, granting them life. His forges burn still in the heart of the world. Yavanna Kementari, giver of fruits and queen of the earth. Wife of Aule, she is the spirit of all growing things. Trees, crops, flowers, these are her domain. From her, the two trees of Valinor were born, which illuminated the world before the sun and moon. Her song is heard in every leaf that turns toward the light. Namo, known as Mandos, judge of the dead. He keeps the halls of the dead, where the spirits of elves and men go after death. He does not speak often, but when he does, it is with finality. Prophecy lives in his voice, and his words shape destiny. He sees all that is to come, but reveals little. His wife is Vaire, the weaver of time, who records all that has ever been. She weaves the story of the world into her tapestries, hanging in the halls of Mandos. Her threads are memory, and her loom never rests. Ulmo, also called Lorien, is the master of dreams and visions. He brings peace to troubled minds and inspires poets, artists, and healers. His gardens are places of wonder and renewal. His partner is Esti, lady of healing and rest. She walks softly, her presence a balm. Even the Valar come to her gardens for peace. It is said her breath can soothe the fire of battle, and her hands mend even the weariness of the spirit. Tulkas Astaldo, the champion of the Valar. He came last into Arda but was vital in defeating Melkor in the first battle. He is joy, strength, and laughter, a being of unshakable courage and no fear. He tires not, and he fights with his hands alone. His wife is Nessa, the dancer, sister of Orome. She is swift, free, and joyful. Deer follow her, and she runs faster than the wind. Her dances bless the lands with vitality and grace. Orome the hunter, lord of the forests and beasts. He roams Middle-earth hunting evil things. It was he who first found the elves at Cuiviénen and brought news of their awakening to Valinor. He loves the wild, the sound of horns, and the strength of noble beasts. His wife is Vanna, the ever-young sister of Yavanna. Where she walks, flowers bloom and birds sing. Her presence renews all things and brings joy even to the halls of Mandos. Each Valar holds a piece of the music. Together they form the chorus of Arda's soul. They do not command mortals, nor crave worship, but their presence shapes the rhythm of life, the seasons, the tides, the dreams, and in their midst once stood one more, the brightest of all. But he did not walk in harmony. He sought to rule the music, not serve it. His name was Melkor. He was the mightiest of them all. Melkor, greatest of the Ainur, whose power was vast, whose knowledge deep, and whose spirit burned brighter than any other. In the beginning, he was not evil. Melkor was born of Ilúvatar's mind like all the Ainur, but within him burned a hunger for knowledge, for creation, for control. He wandered into the void, searching for the flame imperishable, the spark of true life, the secret of independent creation. But he did not find it. And in that absence, he grew restless, jealous. The other Ainur sang the music, content to harmonize with Ilúvatar's themes. But Melkor began to weave his own melody, louder, grander, more dominant. His voice clashed with theirs. It was no longer music. It was ambition set to sound. Ilúvatar responded, not with punishment, but with deeper themes that absorbed and outshone Melkor's discord. But Melkor would not be humbled. When the Ainur descended into Arda, Melkor came with them, not as a brother, but as a conqueror. He sought dominion over the world they had sung together. What the others built, he tried to unmake. Where they planted peace, he sowed chaos. He did not ask, he took. He carved his fortresses in the north, Utumno, and later Angband, filled with fire and cruelty. From these dark thrones he gathered spirits to him, those twisted by his will or seduced by his strength. Even Maiar followed him, and among them was one who would become darker still, Sauron. Melkor was still a Valar by name and power, but in purpose, he stood apart. He demanded loyalty. He incited fear. He became the first Dark Lord. His brothers and sisters mourned him. For once, he had walked among them. He had shared their purpose. He had been a beacon of potential. Now, he was the storm on the horizon, the flame that devours instead of warms. His fall did not happen in a moment. It was a slow turning, choice by choice, desire by desire, until he could no longer return. The discord he introduced into the music now lived in Arda itself. Melkor's legacy would echo through every age, through fire, war, betrayal, and shadow. He was once a builder. He became a breaker, and the world would never forget his name. From the high halls of Taniqatil to the depths of Angband, the story of the Valar is one of wonder, wisdom, and warning. They are not gods to be worshipped. They are the hands that shaped the world, the voices that carried the music, the guardians who watch from afar. But even among them, light can falter, harmony can break. And that is the truth at the heart of Tolkien's world. Beauty and ruin always walk side by side. As the children of Ilúvatar awaken, the Valar will face new choices, new sorrows, and a fate forever tied to the world they helped create. This is only the beginning. At the Valinor Archives, we bring these ancient tales to light, not just to inform, but to awaken the awe they were meant to inspire. If this story stirred something in you, let your voice join ours. Subscribe to the channel, share your thoughts in the comments, and help us preserve the memory of the music. The next chapter will lead us deeper into Melkor's shadow, and to the first war that shook the bones of Arda. The echoes of the beginning are still being heard.